For breaking news, go to iDiskiTimes.co.za. iDiskiTV powered by World Sports Betting, iDiskiTimes.co.za. I feel like the interview was done before the video was shot, having a very high emotive conversation, but about Orlando Pirates itself and their young players. I love that conversation. If someone recorded that, it would trend because we're fighting about who must take credit for the young players at the Pirates and so on and so forth. But we're not going to bring it here. Just to let you know that was a lovely conversation. Orlando Pirates going to the Eastern Cape, winning against Chippa United. The game ended in the first 20 minutes. It was a matter of Orlando Pirates adding more goals, really. Chippa United with less quality players, very nervous. Orlando Pirates doing their job, pressing them, forcing them into making mistakes. Scoring the first goal from a mistake and other goals coming as well. Well done to Orlando Pirates. Full deserved 3 points. Maybe we might be smelling the title race that we wanted from the beginning, which was last year's title race of Orlando Pirates and Mamelodi Sundowns. Mamelodi Sundowns limping and stumbling, Orlando Pirates limping and stumbling, Sekhukhune and Chiefs at the top without any expectation that they will be there until maybe by December. If they're still there, we might take them into consideration. But the two teams, Orlando Pirates and Mamelodi Sundowns, are now closer together at the top of the league. 3 number Sundowns, 5 Orlando Pirates. That's where they are on the Betway Premiership standings. Lindo Pep, all black today from Orlando. What did you make of the game, sir?
I was thinking, irons sharpens iron. I always love our conversation.
Yes, sir.
The whole technical team, now. Yeah, Mr. Nkeo, Orlando Pirates, I believe...
you need to address something. Yeah? I'm pretty sure that people from the internet will say I'm influencing you with this pot belly. Stomach full of fat. When are you getting rid of it?
Yeah, no, I was actually having this conversation, Coach Rulani, that we are joining a lost weight. Now, I
haven't seen him. Did you speak to him?
Yeah, I was talking to him, and I was like, hey, Coach, at the same time, I'm gaining weight, now you're gaining weight.
Is he gaining?
He's gaining a lot of weight. He's gaining a lot of weight himself.
I don't know, it's strange because coaching is a very stressful job for him to be gaining
weight. Yeah, I don't know, man.
And he was coaching in North Africa. He's still back in North Africa as well. He'll lose it very quickly.
I think in case he'll Mr. Nkeo.
Well, he'll lose it very quickly. When you are successful, you've done something on SuperSport Giants. You just finished the first season. Here, Orlando Pirates, you're doing a lot of TV work behind the scenes. For Black Label, you're doing a series. You are at iDiskiTV, one of the watched people on the internet. So maybe that's why, but you have to get rid of it. You have to get rid of it. Take it from me because I'm struggling to get rid of this one. So now make sure it doesn't get so bad.
Yeah, man. No,
people are going to blame me as a negative influence.
I don't go through comments. But
I'm pretty sure they're going to. It's like before and after. If we're shooting an ad, before it was like this. And then after.
No, that's why I'm saying which is a good thing.
Sure.
But other than that, Mr. Nkeo, let's congratulate Tuwadu, the Orlando Pirates players, for an incredible performance.
It was a poor start to the season. 2 losses and is now picking up.
But every team has a game in the season where everything clicks. And I am hoping that after this game, sadly, because it's the international break, which is the negative side to this performance.
Actually,
because
you don't get to do it 3 days
3
later.
days again, because that would have been important. We would have wanted to see the next performance. Because, Mr. Nkeo, you look at everything from a passing perspective to a pattern to how they move, how they run, how they press. You can tell that everything was clicking in the first half.
Yeah.
Because we check out the first goal. It comes from the high press.
Yeah.
In the attacking line, it comes from the aggressive press. And it comes from a reactive press. Reactive meaning that any misplaced passes, Orlando Pirates was there. I think they created about 4 or 5 chances within the first 15 minutes based on that reactive press. I think Chippa United
the interesting thing is that the chances were not constructed by Pirates at the beginning. They did construct later on, but at the beginning it was forcing Chippa to make mistakes.
Defensive errors.
That's forcing them to defensive errors.
Yeah, I think Orlando Pirates, I don't think, for me, credit to players. Because I think the coach was just setting up a low block, a mid-low block, that wanted to see what Chippa United is going to do. We know how Wadu plays. He's a reactive. We did speak about it. He's very. We can see even with the press. The press is reactive as well because Mangati Acheki Chippa United is from their defensive mistakes. I think the Uluke Emel is not a bad coach, Nkuleko. He's not a bad coach because you can see that he's emphasizing that his team needs to build out from the back and then they want to play behind. You can take
all he needs is to lose 4 more games and they'll be out of Chippa United.
That's the sad thing about this club.
No matter how bad or good you see it, but let's stick to Pirates. We'll go back to Chippa as well. What did you like about Orlando Pirates? Mbata, couple of forward passes now, kind of liking that. The combination of their wing backs and their wing forwards. On the left-hand side is Hoto and Apolis. On the right-hand side, Libito came back with Usibelebele as well. So there's some combinations and partnerships that are starting to click as well. Unduuli Nombata in the midfield as well. And those kids, Usiem and Mbogazi as well. Let's look at Paris.
Yeah, I think that's why I'm saying everything clicked in my opinion today. I think this is the best half more especially the first half. I know they played well the entire game, but if I'm the coach, that's the reference. In any game that I'm going to, I am telling the players, this is the halftime I want. This is the 45 minutes that I want. Chances created. Ball position kept well. The game is clean. Less mistakes on the game. I think you have to give credit to the back four. I think those two centre backs, Google Earth. I think these boys read the game very well. I always say, Mr. Nkeo, the best quality of any centre back is reading the game. Because most of the time, Orlando Pirates, with how they play, because Bafun full back, the two centre backs need to defend 1v1. But you have to give credit to Unduli as well. You have to give credit to Umbata, because Umbata, the second goal comes from him. If you look at that action, is that he receives the ball in midfield, Udlali forward pass. If they intercept that ball, and then Chippa rotates, Bambi ball, he turns. And you can tell that something clicked immediately, that they told him, let's go forward. Yeah. Stop playing backwards. And he plays.
That's the meaning of improvement.
For sure. And that's why I said iron sharpened. That's why I said to the boy when I was giving credit, even when I met him on Thursday, I said to him, I like your mentality. Even here at work, people that don't understand. We are one of the best analysts in the country and the most listened to, because iron sharpens iron. You challenge us. And Mina, I love the challenge, because I said to the boy, the fact that Abonduli came to work, came to Orlando Pirates, Abosipombule, you didn't shy away, you didn't hide. You wanted to see, and you can tell, Mr. Nkeo, it's a Mbule thing. Great people in general in life, people that want to do well, even in they leave the bad things and they take the great things. Sure. Every day. You can't tell me there's nothing you're not learning from Umbulu.
Sure.
And we are born and forward pass that happens by mistake with Ufasik. I don't know if who's the right back. Ukamis, I mean to say. Orlando Pirates capitalized with the second goal. You look at how they play in the second half. In the first half, they played with a lot of speed. In the second half, Unduli had a very simple job. And his simple job was to keep the shape. They already had 2 goals. And it was just about moving, controlling the game, managing the game. I think Apolis gets opportunities to score, in my opinion. Kunala Kata corner hits the post. You can see, Mr. Nkeu, that the players are playing free. You can see that the players are confident. Because for me, the biggest credit to give Orlando Pirates is the high press, is the aggressive press, the creative press. I think the midfield press is solid as well between Unduli and Nombata. Defensively, they look like a team that is organized. Sipo Chaine helps them in terms of shot stopping, organized. You can tell he's one of the leaders at the back in terms of communication. We are communicator. But for me personally, I think that Chippa had no chance in this game, because this is the half and this is the game where the Orlando Pirates players clicked.
Yeah, that's interesting. Let's look at them then, Chippa. What were they trying to do today? Because it's a brand new coach, some of the players as well. The players that they were supposed to sign, there's that dynamic as well. They were supposed to sign Justice Figueiredo a very long time ago, but because of the previous coach, maybe he didn't like him, or the type of style, so not personally, but the type of style that he plays, Abonzundoana. Now some of the players, as a new coach as well. What are your worries about the Chippa United, even with the quality as well? They had to make a change here to try and influence the game. They have a player from ABC Musape League, from Isinengane, that they introduced, and this is, at some point, you're like, okay, this is a difference between these two teams, that when they needed a player to change the game, one brings in a young player of the season, Mufugeng, and the other one brings in a player from ABC Musape League. Yeah,
Mr. Nkeo, to be honest with you, Chippa United are still a team that is building from, I think we're still the same pattern as Upatel. I don't think Uluk Emil can influence anything. I think this game is for the sporting director and the previous coach, because Luke Emil just came in a week or 2 weeks ago, so he couldn't have done much. I think his biggest responsibility was organizing the structure. You can see the patterns of play. It's something that you've seen in the 2 previous games. They want to build up from the back. They want to have an aggressive press. They are not a defensive team. They are not a team that plays on a transition. They are a team that wants to play in departments. They want to break you centrally. Sometimes they want to break you out wide. They do have the quality in Figueiredo. I think we're having this conversation with Junior to say, Ali, out talented.
Yeah,
he's very talented, Mr. Nkeo. And what I like about him is
it's a shame that he keeps on finding himself at Richards Bay and Chippa.
My God.
No disrespect to those clubs, but his trajectory of Justice Figueiredo is Sekhukhune, Orlando Pirates, Kaizer Chiefs, Sundowns. That's where he belongs.
Why are they not seeing him? What is it that we are not that we are seeing that the scouts are not seeing?
Strangely, he played against Orlando Pirates when there was a team called All Star in the Nedbank Cup. That match, I think, went to extra time. And I thought maybe that was 3 or 4 years ago we covered that game. And I thought from that day, I will see him at Pirates or one of the big teams, because he had an outstanding performance, even though Pirates won that game in the Nedbank Cup whilst he was in the NFD. He's an international as well, Eswatini. So I don't know, like, why they've not picked him up yet. That's a quality player from Chippa.
Another thing, Mr. Nkeu, we only have less players in this league that can play both wings. Yeah. He's got that quality. He actually can play 3 positions, very versatile.
Central.
Can play left, right, central. He's got technique. Simboni Lasha Konipoli is an aerial threat. I think in every team that he plays for. That's sometimes another thing that we need to be aware of sometimes in South African football. Sometimes there's these players, and Orlando Pirates always finds them. These gems that play for lesser teams. Yeah. You just have to find them. The midfield from key. That's why another thing that we need, before we move on to that, profiling players, I think another thing that you need to identify from Chippa United is the kind of midfield they have. Uluk Emil introduced ball players in midfield, so already tells you the kind of team he wants to build. Quick wingers on wider areas. It already tells you the profile of the team, that he's a coach that wants to build up tall centre backs who can deal in an aerial threat, because mostly position football, sometimes you must be able to deal in a first ball, so you need height sometimes. That's why I think Abu Siami, they came into midfield so that they can deal with the long ball.
Yeah,
and
Justice has already given us a signal. I need to go back to Pirates.
Sure.
My suspicion is that we have a title race in our hands. We have to respect the two teams that are up top, but of course, we have to be reasonable in our assessment. We knew that coming into the season, it may possibly be, because you can always predict the future based on the past.
Yeah.
The kings of South African football is Sundowns, and the second best team in South African football is Pirates. That's based on their performances.
Yeah.
That was number 1, number 2 in Africa, and number 3 in Africa. Those two teams.
Yeah.
The expectation was that those teams will fight this season for the title. Doesn't matter who's at number 1 and number 2. Number 1 and number 2 will need to convince us that we need to start focusing on them. If they are going to be serious contenders. Do you genuinely believe that Pirates can start picking up and mount a title race?
You know what, Mr. Nkru? I don't want to say this because I think we can have a title race, but I don't think Orlando Pirates will win the league. I don't think Pirates has ever been a winning league team, in my opinion. I think that
you need to fix a statement, because Pirates is a historic team. They've won the league multiple times.
But by that I mean they don't build a squad, in my opinion, to win the league.
But they were trying to do that.
I know that for the upcoming season. I know that.
This number of players that they got, they were trying to do that. They were trying to right their wrongs from last season. They needed Apolis, they didn't get them on time, and they were almost on the cusp of winning the league. Pirates wants to win the league.
That's the Pirates team, Mr.
Yes, they are a cup team, of course.
For sure.
But they also want to win the league.
They want to win the league. Let me put this the right way. Orlando Pirates want to win the league. Orlando Pirates would love to win the league from a management, but I believe that the kind of players that they are signing, Orlando Pirates is a team assigned players with individual brilliance. But sometimes to win the league, you need more than that. And I believe that even Kaizer Chiefs, their model of how they build their squad is more suited to winning a league compared to Orlando Pirates. Orlando Pirates has T players that, if Utito to the Mboli Namhlanje Utito beka shining light kanjani. Orlando Pirates builds and signs players that at times Utito must rise. And if Utito rise, they win the match. If Utito is off form, Mfukeng, Usipombule, and you count all their best players, if they are off form, Orlando Pirates has never been a team that relies on a system to win. And to win the league 30 games in a row, you can't play every match. Gahle, Mr. Nkeu. And Orlando Pirates, for them, I believe that for them to win, they need to play well. And sometimes Mamelodi Sundowns can play very bad and get 3 points. Kaizer Chiefs, they haven't been on form, but they're getting
a good
match, but they're winning.
The past 5 matches.
Orlando Pirates, it's been there. Even in the past 3 seasons, they played against the Cape Town Spurs. They didn't play well, and they didn't get the results. For the first 2 games, in my opinion, Mamelodi Sundowns played against Chippa. They did not play well, but they still got a point. And that's the improvement that Orlando Pirates needs to win, is that even if they're not playing well, they need to get the result. And I believe that the type of players they have, unbelievable in terms of individual brilliance. But I don't think that those players can win you 15 games in a row.
All right, there you go. Thank you very much, Lindo Pep. We'll be here, of course, for the whole season. We'll revisit some of these topics over and over again as the picture emerges. I want people to keep in mind that whatever happens with these teams, the teams that will tell us what they're going to do will be, if they're still there by December, then you start to focus on them. Actually, you're like, oh, Sekhukhune, that's a title contender then, because that's what they've proven to do. Orlando Pirates and Mamelodi Sundowns are the 2 best teams in South Africa for the past 4 or 5 years because of their performances on the African continent, and domestically that's been number 1 and number 2 for the past 4 years. If anyone wants to come into the picture, they're going to have to prove to us that they are, not just to us, but to all of us who are watching, all of us in the country who are not watching, that if you want to be considered as a title contender, you need to be able to, by December, we are blinking, we're looking at the league, your name is still there. Then we're like, okay, we believe you. And who knows, we might even start covering Sekhukhune matches more than all the other teams by December. If they have a 10-point gap, we start to give them credit to say, okay, this weekend we're going to go to Sekhukhune. We might even watch them live at the stadium as well. If they're still there, maybe leading by 10 points, who knows. iDiskiTV, iDiski Times, we're splitting.
Boom. Shapunjan bafowethu igama lami Lindo Pep, the best analyst in the country. Please don't forget to subscribe to iDiskiTV. Tanko.
This is Bongane Benedict Villagazi, they call me so. Niyazi bafethu, Amakhosi for life, they are back in winning ways. Please, siyacela ukuthi subscribe iDiskiTV.